You want the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
You can't handle the truth!
Well, we're giving you the Michigan Sports Truth, the show that reveals facts, truth, research, and statistics and never messes around. We lay down the entire truth about everything regarding your Detroit and Michigan sports teams, no matter if it's good or bad. No junk, no entertainment, no homerism, no coddling, no pop culture, no opinions, no shilling, and no fluff. Head over to our website at MichiganSportsTruth.com, follow us on Twitter at Michigan_Truth, and like our Facebook page, The Michigan Sports Truth. The hosts of the Michigan Sports Truth podcast do not take any suggestions or criticism from any member of its audience on how it should be run. It is up to the host to decide what they want to cover. They also do not intend to be any amount of popular in any way, shape, form, or fashion. Additionally, the views of the audience, right or wrong, do not reflect the actual truth revealed on this program.
Hey there, state of Michigan. How does it feel to be a friggin' big-ass loser tonight? For the Tigers, it's good for their tanking process against Chris Ilitch, but for the Griffins, oh my God. The defending Calder Cup champions lost in the first round, got eliminated in the first round in 5 games, the best of 5. To the Manitoba Moose with a 5-1 loss at Andel Arena at home. Damn, that's a suck. My God. Really? Griffins? Jeez. Well, the Griffins were at one point in last place in the Central Division. So, I expected the Griffins to lose it and get eliminated in the first round by any opponent. And the opponent is the Manitoba Moose. My God. What can I say? What a crappy season for the Griffins. They made a comeback, really. They did. I have to hand it to them in the standings, but when push comes to shove, you got to have a better season than that. When you're the defending Calder Cup champions, when you're a defending champion of any sport, any level, major or minor, any league, you have to up your game early on. That's what the Griffins did not do. Shame on them, for God's sakes. All the people in Grand Rapids boo-hooing, forget them. It's time to move on. Tigers put Shane Green on the mound in the 9th inning after Jordan Zimmerman pitches 7 innings and doesn't give up a run, only on 2 hits. 1 walk, 5 strikeouts, and Shane Green gives up 2 home runs, including a 2-run homer to C.J. Cron and then Brad Miller. Green deserved that loss, 1-2. Your so-called closer still sucks. And so does your setup man, Alex Wilson. He didn't pitch tonight, but still, Alex Wilson actually pitched pretty well yesterday in Baltimore, even in a losing effort. But still, doesn't guarantee a damn thing. He could still suck again. So, Jake Faria getting the win, 2-1. The Tigers come back but almost tie it up, but still lose 3-2. Chaz Rowe hits two batters by a pitch, and then Jose Alvarado just barely gets the save. Chaz Rowe only gets a hold? I guess that's just the way Major League Baseball scores that type of situation. Chaz Rowe gets 8 holds on the season already. Wow, that's impressive. Tigers now drop to 11-16. Man, I hope they drop. Tigers are home against the Rays again tomorrow at 7:05. Still in second place, as far as I'm concerned. I guess they're now in a tie for third place, except they for second place, except they hold the tiebreaker in a winning percentage. Right now, the Twins are trailing the Blue Jays 6-4 in the bottom of the 7th, just getting underway in the 7th inning stretch, as far as I can tell. The Cleveland Indians just beat the Texas Rangers 7-5. They had to hang on to win. They improved to 14-12. So the Tigers are going to fall to 5.5 games back. Then you got the White Sox and the Royals. The Royals trail the Red Sox 10-6 at Fenway Park. A man on second and nobody out. Top of the 9th. The White Sox, I believe, have off tonight. They do. So that's pretty much going to do it here, but except Christian Stewart is the prospect team of the week. The number 10 Tigers prospect rakes during a 4-game hitting streak, lands on MLB Pipeline's team of the week. And the Michigan Wolverines landed a 3-star offensive lineman, Carson Barnhart, 6'4", 282. He picked U of M over MSU and others. Tigers put Daniel Norris on the 10-day disabled list with a groin strain. Miguel Cabrera did not play tonight. He's day-to-day with a bicep injury. Miguel Cabrera gets sore almost frequently. Miguel Cabrera frequently gets really physically sore. And that doesn't bother me one bit. He just doesn't stay 100%. That's his only problem. So with that in mind, that's all the truth I have for tonight. Now it's time for Louis Tenore's National Sports Report. Louis, take it away.
You got it, Tenore. All right, let's start with the baseball scores first. Right now, in the top of the 8th inning, the Astros are holding on to a 2-0 lead against the Yankees. Runners around first and third, 2 out. Devinsky is pitching, and at bat is Judge. And the Yankees have a 9-game winning streak on the line here. As we just mentioned, Indians over the Rangers, 7-5. Allen got the win, Martin got the loss, and Bellevue got the save. Cubs over the Rockies, 3-2. Farrell got the win, Freeland got the loss, and Kissick got the save. Rays edged the Tigers 3-2. Barrier got the win, Green got the loss, and Alavedo got the save. Brewers edged the Reds 6-5. Oh boy. Woodruff got the win. Pereira got the loss, and Hader got the save. Top 9. Red Sox are leading the Royals 10-6. There's a runner on second with 2 out. Johnson is pitching and Hardez is at bat, but I think the Royals are just about a luck for this game. Marlins doubled up on the Phillies 8-4. Gonzalez got the win and Arrieta got the loss. On the 7th right now, the Blue Jays are holding on to a 6-4 lead over the Twins. A runner on first, nobody out. Loop is pitching and Rosario is at bat. Top of the 3rd, the D-backs are leading the Dodgers 3-0. No one on and 2 out. Greinke is pitching and Taylor is at bat. Snacky boy, okay. The Nationals over the Pirates 3-2. Work got the win, Talon got the loss, and Kistner got the save. And right now, top of the 1st, Padres and Giants are scoreless, but the Padres have bases loaded and 2 out. Santamaria is pitching and Gavis is at bat. And just to be sure I don't miss anything here. Okay, that's it. We have everything ready. So now, let's go to the standings, and they read like this. Starting off, of course, in the American League East, as I usually do. And it's getting a lot tighter. Right now, the Red Sox are 20-7, and are 2 games up on the Yankees at 18-9. Blue Jays are 5 back at 15-12. Rays 13-14 at 7 back, and the Orioles at 8-20 at 12.5 back. In the AL Central, the Indians are 15-12, have a 4-game lead over the Tigers at 11-16. Minnesota is also 4 back, but they're 9-14. White Sox are 8-18, 6.5 back, and the Royals 7-28 back. Oh boy, this division looks awful. Anywho, in the West, excuse me, Astros are 19-10, have a 2-game lead over the Mariners at 16-11. Angels not that far behind, 2.5 at 16-12. Athletics hanging around at 14-14, 4.5 back, and the Rangers 11-19, 8.5 back. National League, the Mets are 17-9 and increased their lead over the Braves. It's now a game and a half back at 16-11. Phillies at 2 back at 16-12. Nationals 13-16 at 5.5 back, and the Marlins 10-18 at 8 back. In the Central, Cubs at 16-10 have a half-game lead over the Pirates at 17-12. Brewers are just a game back at 17-13. The Cardinals are a game and a half back at 15-12, and the Reds are 7-22, 10.5 back. With the exception of that, I would pay very close attention to the NL Central right now, and the NL East. Interesting. In the West, the Diamondbacks are 19-8, have a 5.5 game lead over the Rockies at 15-15, and a 5.5 game lead over the Giants at 14-14. Dodgers, who are in a real struggle so far, are 12-15, 7 back, and the Padres are 10-19, 10 back, pending outcome of this game, of course. All right, so let's check the schedule for tomorrow. For your May 1st, May Day, and it reads as follows. All right, leading off with your 6-10 game, the Rangers will take on the Indians. Your 7:05, 7:10 games go as follows. The Pirates will face the Nationals, 7:05. 7:10 games are the Rays taking on the Tigers, the Brewers taking on the Reds, the Braves taking on the Mets, Royals take on the Red Sox, And the Phillies take on the Marlins. 8:05, Rockies take on the Cubs. 8:10, Blue Jays take on the Twins. The Yankees take on the Astros once again. The White Sox take on the Cardinals at 8:15. The Dodgers take on the D-backs at 9:40. And West Coast games. The Orioles take on the Angels at 10:07. Oakland takes on the Mariners at 10:10, and at 10:15, the Padres will take on the Giants. And of course, before we go off the air, I will recap the late scores that are going on. So now let's turn our attention to the NBA as playoffs are continuing here. And we read like this. Right now, the Celtics are having it's a fairly easy time over the 76ers, 109 to 92. 3.5 and change left in the fourth quarter. Joel Embiid with 31 points, 13 rebounds, and 5 assists, and 1 mask. It's on his face. Oh, boy. And Terry Rozier, 24 points, 8 rebounds, 6 assists. That's the only game in the NBA tonight, but there is more tomorrow, and it reads like this. The Cavaliers will face the Raptors for the first game in their series, and the players to be watched are LeBron James and DeMar DeRozan, of course. And at 10:30 in the West, the Pelicans will take on the Warriors. Your players to watch will be Anthony Davis and Kevin Durant. So I'll have that. All right, now let's go to the ice. As we had a game that just ended just a few minutes ago. As the Tampa Bay Lightning hold off the Boston Bruins 4-2. A series tied 1 game apiece. And just now underway, 10 minutes ago, the Vegas Golden Knights and San Jose Sharks are scoreless in Game 3 of their series. And I must say that was a very controversial ending to the game on Saturday night. A goal was called back, but like I said, I think looking at the replay, now I figured, that was goaltending interference. You had to take a good, solid look at it. It took a while, but in the end, I'd say they got it right.
Yep.
All right, tomorrow's games are as follows. The Capitals will take on the Penguins at 7:30 in Game 3 of their series, and the Predators will take on the Jets at 8 o'clock. Their series tied 1 apiece. The Capitals Pens game was on NBCSN, and the Predators Jets game was on CNBC. Somehow that just doesn't fit right, but I guess you have to make accommodations this time of year anyway. Right. All right, so now we'll get to the news items of the day.
Before you do, we've got updated standings here. The Tigers are 11-16, 4 games back, along with the Twins are 4 games back as well. Twins 9-14, Tigers 11-16. Like I mentioned, Cleveland is 15-12 now. So there you go.
All right. Okay, well, bad break for the Dodgers. They announced that their shortstop, Corey Seager, will miss the rest of the season and will undergo Tommy John surgery to fix a sprained unilateral ligament in his right arm. Oh boy. In the physical sense, it hurt and some numbness, and it was time to go get it looked at, according to his words. Seager said he was hoping for inflammation when he went for the MRI, but it turns out to be worse than we had thought. It was hurting worse, but I could tell that it was just from how recent it was, Seager said. You obviously don't hope for what it's turned out to be, but I was hoping for inflammation. Seager, the 2016 NL Rookie of the Year and 2-time All-Star, had 2 home runs, 13 RBIs as in 26 games this season. He previously missed just 1 game in 2018 on March 31st with a win over the Giants. And we're sorry to say that he is out. And right now they're apart from where they were last year. Sometimes all it takes is one injury, and it could really set you back. On a brighter note, Stephon Curry is expected to return to the Warriors for Game 2 of the Western Conference Finals tomorrow versus the Pelicans. The Warriors list him as probable. That's according to Coach Steve Kerr. Curry will not be restricted on minutes. That's according to Coach Steve Kerr. Curry, as you know, suffered a grade 2 MCL sprain on his left knee 5.5 weeks ago, and unfortunately had missed a total of 17 games. But now it seems that he is ready to go. So I'll be there for that as well. All right, Washington Capitals forward Tom Wilson will not have to face a hearing with the NHL Department of Player Safety that will avoid a suspension. That knocked Penn's defenseman Brian Dumoulin out for Game 2. ESPN, as ESPN learned, the hit occurred in the early stages of Game 2 yesterday. Wilson was pressuring Dumoulin from behind as the Pens player moved the puck from deep inside his defensive zone. Alexander Ovechkin of the Capitals was speeding in on the forecheck. Dumoulin stopped his progress to brace the hit from Ovechkin. Wilson then slammed his shoulder into Dumoulin's head and sent him down flat on the ice. There was no penalty called, however, on the play, and the Department of Player Safety determined that Wilson's contact was not considered an illegal check to the head. It felt that the contact to the head was unavoidable on the play. And Dumoulin, bracing himself with a hit, changed the position of his head prior to Wilson making contact with him. Accidental or no accidental, that's gotta hurt. Oof. All right. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Buccaneers are investigating threatening tweets towards General Manager John Lynch. A source confirmed to ESPN today, on Friday, a fan with a Twitter account posted a series of angry tweets about the Bucs draft, including a GIF from a murder scene from the movie The King of New York. And the words, "When I see Jason Lick next time I roll through Tampa." The fan, who identified himself as Mike Rogers of Houston, told the Tampa Bay Times that it was only a total exaggeration, that he was caught up in the moment and upset that the Bucs did not select Florida State safety Derwin and James. Under federal law, though, the state states the person who is found guilty by communicating a threat to kidnap or injure a person in interstate or foreign commerce is subject to a 5-year prison term. So you really gotta watch what you do these days, people. Indiana Pacers Victor Oladipo, the last-second three-pointer, although it didn't get the win, was not enough to give the Pacers the victory, but it was enough for those who bet on the team to cover the spread. Most sportsbooks had opened up Game 7 with the Cavaliers as 6.5 favorites and closed at either 5 or 5.5. His three-pointer cut the Cavaliers' margin of victory from 7 to 4 points at William Hill's Sportsbooks. 70% of the money had bet on a point spread on the game was on the Pacers. So, good news for those who bet on the game, bad news for the bookies. How do you like that? All right. Red Sox pitcher Joe Kelly could have served a 6-game suspension any way he wanted. Yesterday, he was roaming around Fenway Park as a fan, opting to change his team's luck after being shut out by the Tampa Bay Rays. Kelly played a no on-field role. The Sox came from behind 4-3, but the rally did not begin until after he left the suite. He was sitting in to start the afternoon. Kelly said, I was sitting in this suite and we were not getting any runs and we were losing. So I moved out and went to the bleachers. We got a couple of runs. Kelly told sports radio station WEEI in Boston. I moved to another location, and that did not work. So I moved to the Samuel Adams party deck and ended up getting the runs. Then I watched the rest as Craig Kimbrell came in from the Street State Pavilion, and I had to change locations. I was getting superstitious. It's kind of like a strange superstition if I've ever heard one. On Friday, WEEI reported that Kelly had seats above the Green Monster, but spent time in 3 locations throughout the park, including the bleachers. Kelly is serving a 6-game suspension after hitting the Yankees' Tyler Austin with a pitch, which led to a good old-fashioned base brawl on Thursday after his appeal was denied. He will be able to return to action on Wednesday. What do you expect? It's the Yankees versus the Red Sox. What do you expect? All right. More bad news for the Dodgers. The LA Dodgers' lackluster start to 2018, showing signs of visible leakage, as the latest example came from a 4-2 loss yesterday to the Giants. Manager Dave Roberts pulled last year's Rookie of the Year Corey Bellinger in the 5th inning from what the Dodgers manager described as a lack of hustle after losing 3 out of 4 to the Giants. The Dodgers' record now stands at 12-15, and they are currently 7 games back of the Arizona Diamondbacks, against whom the Dodgers are starting a 4-game series as we speak. For his part, Bellinger said after the game that he was unaware of the reason as to why he was being benched. For a star-studded club that won the National League West the past 5 seasons, this might be Roberts' way of sending a message to everyone on the roster saying that the club's record for at this point is totally unacceptable. Ooh, that's nasty. All right. I don't know if we covered this or not last night, but I'll cover it anyway because this happened after we went the air. The Buffalo Sabres win the NHL draft lottery for the first time since 1987. The announcement was made prior to the start of Game 2 as the Knights took on the Sharks. First time in 31 years. I was a sophomore in high school. Yankees they won 9 in a row after sweeping the Angels yesterday. And now there's a rematch of the classic AL Championship as the Yankees take on Houston. Payback is, of course, well, I'm not going to say it. And Brady assures that he'll be back for the 2018 season and say he will play right up until he reaches about his mid-40s or so. Unless if something out of the ordinary should happen. He said this while being at the Milken Institute Global Conference in California, while detailing why he's taking a different approach this offseason and staying away from the team's voluntary off-season program. Not for nothing, but wouldn't it be a wise idea to attend the off-season program workouts for strength and conditioning? He said, part of the off-season certainly about still preparing for what's ahead in my next journey, my next mountain to climb, etc., with this group of teammates. But it's also acknowledging that a lot of people are getting the short end of the stick in my life, certainly my wife and kids. Brady said in an hour-long conversation with moderator Jim Gray. That's Brady for you, though. He goes on to say, football is year-round for me. It's a lot of thought, a lot of energy and emotion to put into it. But I need to invest in them. need to listen to them too. My kids are 10, 8, and 5, and they're not getting younger. So I need to take time so I can be available for them too. I've really spent the last 2 or 3 months doing those things, and I think I'm really trying to fill up my tank so when I go back, I can go back. And I think actually they'll be my mind. I'll be a better player, better teammate, because I'll really be rejuvenated. Like you weren't rejuvenated before. As for what he plans to keep playing, Brady said, I have personal goals. I want to keep playing. I've said for a long time, I want to play until I reach my mid-40s. I was told 3 years. When I was 36, 37, you can't keep playing. No one wins Super Bowls at that age. It's a great challenge for me. I think I've been challenged my whole life. I feel like I can do it. Yeah, but that's what your fans say. For us, I really don't care. In talking about extending his career, the 40-year-old Brady noted how his routine has evolved over time, and he feels that he can keep playing because he loves the game. He is willing to make the commitment and believes in his plan. Well, I have a great system in place that works well for me in order to keep performing at my highest level, he said, referring to the TB12 training method, which he called part of the second career of my life. Oh, boy. Really pouring on thick. What I want to do in the meantime is that I want to inspire people through my action. Not tell them what to do, but just show it. That's what he says. In the final episode of Brady's Discoveries, Tom versus Time, Brady's wife, Gissel said she wanted Brady to feel happy and appreciate a topic that came up during Brady's conversation at the Milken Institute Global Conference. Asked if he was happy, Brady said, I have my moments. Yeah, I'm sure you do. So it looks like that Brady's going to stick around for a while. Yeah, just by rotten luck. We do have a final here now in the Major League Baseball as the Red Sox. Yeah, they did it again. Red Sox have one game here. Just a second while I get to the score here. And we have more updates here concerning the Astros and the Yankees. If you're an Astros fan, good news. If you're a Yankees fan, it's not. As the Astros have beat the Yankees 2-1, ending their 9-game winning streak. Morton got the win. Gray got the loss, and Giles got the save. They've been thinking about Gray, how mediocre he is. Blue Jays still lead the Twins 6-5 in the top of the 8th. 1 out, nobody on. Presley is pitching, and Bruno is at bat. D-backs still lead the Dodgers 3-0 with 1 out, nobody on. Tripling is pitching, and Owings is at bat. Giants still lead the Padres 3-0, top of the 2nd, with 1 out, nobody on. And Cespedes is still pitching, and Hedges is at bat. And right here, yes, the Red Sox beat the Royals 10-6. Vasquez got the win, and Hamill got the loss. Well. And that concludes the baseball scores. And with just about a minute to go in the first period, it is scoreless tie right now between the Golden Knights and the San Jose Sharks. I have a feeling this could be a long game. It's quite a change from what happened in the first game when it was a 7-0 thrashing.
Mm-hmm.
But at least now I see that it is going as I thought it would, be more of a defensive style.
Yeah, let's see what happens.
Yes. one more note here concerning basketball. Miami Heat President Pat Riley did not mince words when discussing Hassan Whitehead, saying the Energy Center was not physically or mentally prepared for Miami's postseason series against Joel Embiid and the Philadelphia 76ers. Whiteside is a former Seton Hall product. That's 20 minutes from my house. By the time we got to the playoffs, I don't think it was ready, according to Riley, he said today. 6 days after the Heat were eliminated by the Sixers in 5 games, he wasn't in great shape. He wasn't fully conditioned for a playoff battle mentally. And he got our heads, we got heads handed to us. Whiteside also needs to make major changes and repair his relationship with Coach Eric Spoelstra, according to Riley himself. Riley's still God. Still, Whiteside played a total of just 76 minutes in the 5 games against Philadelphia and struggled to contain Embiid, who averaged 18.7 points, 10.3 rebounds, and 3.0 blocks per game, despite missing the first 2 games of the series. He stands 7 foot even, and has 2 years remaining on his 4-year deal worth $98.4 million. With the Heat, he publicly complained about his role for lack of playing time after Miami's loss in Game 3. I'm not going to give him any kind of excuse, Riley said, but Whiteside's season started with an injury, and all year long there was a dilemma of some kind. NB commented on SportsCenter's Instagram post about Riley saying, "I'll let you finish, but I missed a month, so no excuses. Just trust it." Whiteside dealt with injuries during the season and did not want to wear a knee brace that the Heat insisted upon. Riley said if Whiteside and Spoelstra needed an intervention to solve their relationship issues, he will handle it. The disconnect between Whiteside and Spoelstra said it's going to take a decision between them, and it's going to take thought on the part of coach and also Hassan. Riley said, "How will Hassan transform his thinking, 99% of it, to get the kind of improvement that Spo wants so he can be effective? How can Spo transform his thinking when it comes to offense and defensive minutes or whatever?" Whiteside is 28, had his worst game of the series in Philadelphia, series-clinching victory in Game 5 last Tuesday when he scored just 2 points in 10 minutes. Spoelstra came to Whiteside's defense 3 days later during his end-of-the-season news conference, saying that Whiteside battled and grinded through his injuries during the season. Spoelstra also said that the narrative and storylines about Whiteside are unfair. Yeah, I'll buy that. All right, so with that, I'll turn it back over to you.
All right, that's going to do it for the Postgame Edition. Before we sign off, we want to remind everyone to share this podcast and our entire episode. This episode and our entire podcast on social media, and have their friends share that as well, because we want to tell them that the Michigan Sports Truth podcast is in search for a wider audience that's fans of sports. So please spread the word about the Michigan Sports Truth podcast, its Facebook page, and its Twitter handle at Michigan_Truth. Also, this just in, the Michigan Sports Truth is now on Apple Podcasts via iTunes, so please check it out and subscribe. For Louis Tenore, I'm Taylor Phillips. Follow me on Twitter at DT2Phillips. TTFN, ta-ta for now.
Good night.
The hosts of the Michigan Sports Truth podcast do not take any suggestions or criticism from any member of its audience on how it should be run. It is up to the host to decide what they want to cover. They also do not intend to be any amount of popular in any way, shape, form, or fashion. Additionally, the views of the audience, right or wrong, do not reflect the actual truth revealed on this program.
And mission complete.